Happy Friday, everybody. Today I want to do just a bit of a preview about my TCS DCC system. Alrighty, so let's talk about the new TCS system that I got installed on my layout. Before we get into the cab control and the ECOS reviews, I figured I want to do a bit of a preview on the TCS system that I've got installed. I am pretty happy so far with the purchase that I've made. I'm excited to move on and worry less about engines possibly burning up on my layout, but I'm running these almost constantly now to see if I run into any issues, just out of curiosity, but so far it's been really good. Also, I have to say, I have my TCS unit in a rack mount system back over here on a switched power supply. Audio rack mount systems are really cool, and I ended up with some used stuff, and that's kind of what I'm using for storage. But I also have a PSU, or a PDU, excuse me, with switchable 110 volt outlets. So that's what I use to turn the system on and off. Unlike the ESU systems, there's no power down cycle or anything like that. You just turn it off when you're ready to be done. All the memory is kind of already saved. These automatically turn off when they're done. You can actually go in and turn them off, but they're timed. And then the startup sequence is super fast. It takes 15 seconds for the actual command station to boot, and these things 5-10 seconds and you're ready to go. So that's awesome. There's no startup sequence really, so that's cool. The big thing that I'm running into is that I really like, because I haven't totally learned the menu system yet, is I have all three of the remotes. And when I got them, I was actually really surprised. The box for this stuff was huge, and everything comes really nicely retail packaged. I did a bit of an unboxing. I might put it in this, I might not. It's kind of cringy. It was late at night and I was excited to get started. But anyway, I thought that this was going to be kind of the flagship model, and I was going to want a couple of these. After just a little bit of use, I don't know if that's actually the case. The star of the show might actually be this particular throttle right here. But let's start with the flagship anyway. I currently have this consisted to my CNs that are running here. Everything about this throttle feels premium. It's got a bit of weight to it. The LCD is nice. The backlight that pops on is plenty of bright. And the buttons feel like a 90s rubber button remote. I don't know if you know what I mean, but they're tactile, but kind of spongy. But you can definitely feel when the button's being pressed, and that's nice. As a guy that comes from that era and is also kind of an audio nerd, rotary knobs and toggle switches, that kind of stuff, that tactile feeling is important. That's one of the downsides to like using your phone or like a cab control system where it's touchscreen. You don't always know if things are happening properly, right? You can click it so fast, you can just barely hear that flip on. So you can really work the functions on this thing. I'll try that again as this gets a little bit closer. It almost doesn't know what to do, you're clicking it so fast, but it is actually getting the code to do it, the signal. So that tells you that you really have good buttons on this thing. They feel great. The encoder here is a lot like a mouse wheel if you dipped it in grease. It's like really smooth, but there's some resistance to it, and that's good. You don't want it flying out of control. The programmable buttons are nice. I haven't played with them too much. The yard mode thing with this works really good. The holding the button to go one direction or the other. It is set speed steps with this, so currently these are 10 and these are 1. In yard mode, I think it's 10 and 20. That's okay, but it's actually kind of over, or not up to the par of one of the other throttles. But let's talk about the UWT-50 with the rotary encoder. What I really like about this unit, and it's currently consistent to my Santa Fe's right there, is going through all of the menus and whatnot. You can select things by clicking the encoder. You can also go directly to 0 by clicking your encoder. This allows you to kind of reset where the thumb button is, right? That click is really handy. It seems like it's meant to be that way. It's natural. So when you're navigating the menus and you click using that, it seems like everything works better. The other ones you have to press a button to confirm or whatever. Sorry, it's getting late, but I really like that about this, and I wish you could get that on the other or the potentiometer, because it really is a nice feature of this remote. But same idea. It's got some heft. It feels nice in the hand. It doesn't feel cheap by any means. Not as happy about the gloss finish on the back, but it does stick well in the palm. So maybe it's meant to be that way for a little bit of sweaty palm to hold on to it. But it's nice feeling remote. Everything's easily accessible by your thumb, and again, all the buttons just work really well. So, like this, but don't buy this. Buy this. This thing is absolutely amazing. And I probably will want to get more of these instead of the 100 series. As nice as that throttle is, this thing takes the cake. Again, feels nice in the hand. Wish it didn't have a gloss back, but is what it is. The knobs feel a little chintzy, but they do use standard potentiometers. So that is a 6mm shaft size. So you can get some real fancy, like, knurled aluminum knobs. I think I might get one to do a little bit of custom work on this thing, because I ain't getting rid of this one for sure. But this has an interesting feature. Although I wish I could click it for the menu navigation, I would easily give up that feature to have what I consider to be the standout feature of this particular throttle. There is a detent right top dead center in the rotation of the potentiometer. Again, all of this is the same except for this one little feature. You have to use the side buttons here to use yard mode on the other UWT-50. There are physical buttons on the 100 that make it work okay. But in the case of this, and we'll get my CN consist around here, in normal mode, this functions just like a regular throttle. All the way to the left, and you're at 0. All the way to the right, you're at 100% throttle, right? And there we are. However, let's go ahead and, if you look up there, the 3-dot function is called yard, so we're going to press that button, and you'll see it's highlighted. We're going to go ahead and bring this up to 0. Notice the engine didn't move. We hit that detent. Little bit to the left, and we're creeping forward. Back to the center, and we stop. Ooh, that's nice. So I have been playing with this almost nonstop since I've got it. I hooked up all the throttles, got everything hooked, running. It was seamless, worked really easy. It automatically connects to the Wi-Fi, got excellent range, all that jazz. But I started playing with this little feature, doing a little bit of switching work, and this is a game changer. The software that they've got built into this is pristine. It works flawlessly, and it makes switching so much more simple to do and more fun. And honestly, that's kind of the best part about the hobby, is having a little bit of fun, not messing with things. Finally, something that just works. The capability to easily switch directions, bring something to a stop. Works just like a brake on a normal DC system. And you're rocking and rolling again. You don't have to touch buttons to switch directions. You don't have to worry about accidentally flipping it the opposite direction, and if you don't have any acceleration set up in there, having your motor spin backwards or whatever, it just works. And that's awesome. This has been so much fun. Also, when you're ready to switch back to regular mode, say you have it in an odd position. So for example, we'll be going the opposite direction, but this would be almost full throttle. If you click the yard mode button, it brings everything back to 0. The engines stop, and you have to reset the throttle to what would be normally 0 before it'll start to move again. Just excellent. And it maintains the direction you are going in, by the way. Absolutely perfection. Whoever came up with this, kudos. This right here should have been your flagship. This is probably the best actual throttle control that I've ever used. And I gotta say, the cab control system had a really smooth rotary encoder. This is just as smooth and has so much more functionality. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that's a game changer. Good job, TCS. So just kind of wanted to do a quick chat before I actually got into my other reviews and then started working on really learning these systems, because I haven't been this excited about a product in a long time. I'm really enjoying this throttle. So I'm going to get back to 3D printing some hangers for these and just enjoying my trains. So I will see you guys this weekend. I hope to have a live stream, so we'll see what happens. Bye now.